Hey, welcome back. This is this week's deal of the week. Every week we bring you an amazing deal that one, you can flip your property, you can flip it yourself, you can buy the property, renovate it, rent it out, do whatever you want with it. But I can guarantee you every single week we bring you incredible deals that are not necessarily hard to find, but you may not know what to look for. So this week we're talking about a condominium downtown Toronto in Yorkville, a really prestigious area. This isn't for everybody, but it is a higher end project. But the profit on it, you're going to be north of $250,000 net profit after all expenses and not putting any of your own money into the property. So this is the property. And I wanted to show you what it looks like. So it's down at 175 Cumberland. There's three properties currently available for sale. This one in particular, we're looking at on the 20th floor, 2001. They're currently asking 1.6 million. With that being said, though, 1.6 million, they're originally at 2 million, and then they came down to 1.9, 1.8, 1.7. Now they're back down to 1.6. So they're really dropping their price considerably. The property isn't in horrible condition, which is what we always recommend when you're looking for a flipping property. Here are some interior pics. And essentially what it looks like, it's just an outdated property. So it's not too far gone. We don't really want you getting involved with investment properties that need extensive work. We want these relatively quick fixes, new floors, new paint, maybe take out a door or two, redo the kitchens and the bathrooms, really basic, simple stuff, nothing too complicated. So you can see, it's relatively decent shape. They're currently asking 1.6 million, and we're going to get into the numbers in a second. But I want to show you this identical property, same square footage. The only difference is it's on the other side of the building. So one's on the north side, one's on the south side. And you can see here they did an incredible job of the renovation itself. So they took the same unit and they renovated it to a high level, and it shows beautifully. And it's on the market currently for 2.2 million. And this is exactly what you can do. So there's a huge gap here. There's a $600,000 delta. So what do I mean by delta? Well, delta is simply the amount of money between what you could buy a property for and what you could sell it for. So there's going to be a gap, or what we call a delta. And this is $600,000 delta. Usually in those numbers, if you can find something in that range, you'll be into the hundreds of thousands of dollars in net profit. Now, the numbers sound daunting, and a lot of the new investors I work with, even some of the experienced investors, they don't want to go that higher end level because they think it's going to take longer to sell. But in Yorkville, that's kind of the standard price. It's not really a high level for Yorkville. Obviously, if you're outside the city, it's a huge number. But like in that particular area, in that particular section of the city, it's really not. So I just want to go back to that real quick here. If you are looking at a comp, so if you're not using this particular one, we can show you how to find these deals without having to use me or without having to use anybody else. But you can see here, 1.6 million asking price, and the identical units currently on the market for just under 2.2 million. How do you find that? Well, we're going to get into the numbers, but in the meantime, you can go to something where it's called youngrealty.ca/deals. And I actually walk you through a step-by-step course of how you find the top 5 ways to find the best properties in the city, just looking on realtor.ca. You don't even need to use a realtor. You just need to know what to look for. The biggest problem with most real estate investors, especially starting out, you don't actually know what to look for. The problem with a lot of investors, if you're either working with a realtor or you're working with someone and says, let's go look at properties first, that's the worst thing you could possibly do. What you want to do is start looking at the numbers, start looking online, do the search here. If the numbers work for you, fantastic. Then go out and see the property, make sure it's not too far gone or it's going to mess up some of your budget. So that's how I would do it, and that's what I recommend you do. Anyways, check out youngrealty.ca/deals. The link is below in the video here, but you can actually look for these on your own. So you don't need me, you don't need a realtor, you can do it on your own. But hey, we're here to help. This is why we send these every single week. This is a deal we found. It's something that we've been looking at for a while, for a few months now, but they've finally come into a price where we know it's a strike point, and we want to recommend it for you as well. So reach out to us if that's of interest to you. Now, before we get into why I think it's such a great deal, let's get into the numbers, which is way more important. Now, we have this awesome calculator, which, if you go to the link, youngrealty.ca/calculator, we will give you this calculator for free. This is a more important tool than actually looking for properties because it calculates the profits for you, and it does it in a way that is quickly. So I had to create this on my own because me and my team were trying to go through so many properties and we couldn't find enough deals to sort of satisfy what we're looking for both our client needs and our own needs. But what we found is we figured out this calculator that we can just punch in a few numbers and you're off to the races here. So let me show you how this works. And we're going to use this exact property here. So all you do is type in the address of the property you're looking for, just so you don't lose track. Now, you want to enter the square foot because this will determine your construction costs. This property is approximately 1,700 square feet. So they're currently asking 1.6 million, but because I know it's been on the market for so long, and I know it's still been sitting there, I think you could probably realistically get this for 1.5 million. So you just type in 1.5. And the only other number you need to know is what you could sell it for or an estimated sales price. So we know the same unit is currently on the market for 2.2 million. So just enter it in. Oops. Add an extra zero. That'd be great if you sell for 22 million. So you put in 2.2 million and it spits out, you're going to have a percentage return or an approximate percentage return of 46%. So it's a green light on this project. Now, the expected price point is $350,000. But what this spreadsheet, what you'd want to update in the spreadsheet is depending on, on the mortgage, not the mortgage, sorry, the length of time you anticipate you're going to keep the property. So in this particular property, we've always put in 3 months as our base. We put in 3 months as our base. We put in all the maintenance, the mortgage costs, the property taxes. This is 100% down financing. So you have a first mortgage and a second mortgage that covers your entire cost. So it's quite expensive, but we only do it for 3 months. So in this market, I anticipate it's going to take a little bit longer, of 6 months. So you can update that on the spreadsheet also by just typing a few numbers, and it'll pop out a lower percentage. So we did that already. So if you look here, this is the same project here, just with a little bit longer time frame. So you'll see here, the delta has gone down slightly, but we can change this. And we anticipate a higher price point, but now we think it's going to be coming back down slightly. But that being said, you're still going to be netting profit about $271,000 on this project. Now, if this seems like a big number, it's because it is. It is a tremendous number. And this is why this is our deal of the week. This is an incredible opportunity. If you want to get into flipping property, it may not be ideal for your first one because it is a higher end project and you don't want to go in there and finishing it with like cheap materials. So you want to spend some money on the actual project. So if you go down to the construction costs, that's why we want the square footage. So we estimate it's about 143,000, which is based on 20 years worth of renovation and recent renovations and budgets. And like, this is a very accurate number when it comes to renovating a suite. You've got to remember, this is a condominium. You are not going to be doing a lot of the big expenses. So you don't have roofs to fix, you don't have exterior to do or landscaping, you don't have to do windows or doors. Like, there's so many things you don't have to do. You don't have to do HVAC or air conditioning systems, and most of the plumbing is just superficial plumbing, so you don't have to deal with like drainage issues. There's very little permitting to deal with, so your cost is significantly lower. If you're used to renovating homes, renovating a condominium is going to be you're going to love it. Okay, I did the same thing years ago, and so when I first got into condominiums, I was like, wow, the cost is so much lower, and in the speed, it only takes 4 to 6 weeks to do these things because, again, it's an internal superficial fix. You're not like doing foundation work, you're not doing underpinning work, you're not doing roofs, you're not doing exterior work. There's so much expense and time that consumes you in a renovation project in a house that you don't have to deal with in a condominium. So this is our deal of the week. I highly recommend it. And if you want more information, just reach out to us through this email. We have a link below, or you can go to youngrealty.ca/contact. Anyways, that is our deal of the week. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I do. Go out and get it.